Okay, we're coming along here. Sorry this is taking a lot longer, but it's New Year's and it's taking a while for me to get cranked up for this new year. So anyway, he's looking good so far. In this video, we're going to paint these white or off-white. We're going to do the neck piece in here, and we're going to correct those holidays. Remember I mentioned them. You always, once your thing dries, these things start popping up where you can see them. There's some here all the way around here. There's just no way you can get around them, even on the head here. Let me get these feathers off of here. They'll pop up here. So there's some down here, one there, one there. There's one. They just appear. So right off, we're going to go ahead and touch them up here, and probably on here too. So I'm going to set these out of the way here, and put my little background here away. And just to show you here, I put a piece of glass inside my paint box, okay? So to clean my paint from the other day when we made the other video, I just squirt on some water, let it set a bit, and then with an old razor blade, just come in here and clean it off. But why I like to paint this way is having a piece of glass on top of my white background of the paint box lets me see the washes instead of seeing the solid paint. I can see the washes, how they're going to look. That's a real help when I'm painting. Let's get all this stuff off of here. And it just takes a second to get back to a clean painting surface. Oh, it's getting cluttered in here. There's a booger. He don't want to come out of it. And you just wipe it off. And you got a clean paint surface to begin with again. That don't help any, does it? What's going on under there? Something ain't right. Anyway, it's always something. Let's put him back out of the way here. So to get rid of those holidays, we're going to be painting this anyway, so we'll just set this out of the way. And you see I've dabbed off a little bit of the water here, but you see most of it has soaked in again. Even though I painted this, because I painted it wet, it pulled that paint down into the fiber of the wood. It's not sitting on the top of it. I mean, it is sitting on the top of it a little bit, but most of it's down inside the wood. Gotta get that on there. So I think I picked it up when I scraped my thing here. So anyway, that just shows you again how this technique differs so much from someone who sits down and tries to paint it after the wood's been sealed and are putting on solid color on top of the wood. It's just a different type of result you get. Okay, now you'll also notice that all my holidays disappeared. So I don't know, well, there's a couple right there, but what I'll do is I'll just let this thing dry out again the next time we get ready to sit down and paint. It'll be dried out and I can see them again. Okay, so we're going to paint this in here first. And try to find some good examples of what that area is. See here, here's one here. It's pretty large, where it's green and red, and it's got white crosses surrounded by a beaded border. Here's one over here that's just solid red, surrounded by a decorative border. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to do up there. So, for red, I'm going to use red iron oxide. You'll note when I'm doing these paintings on Indians, I always go back to just a small group of paint. Well, that's basically what the Native Americans had to work with when they did their decorations. Of course, once the white guys showed up, they had a lot of other things to work with. But before they showed up, they were pretty limited on what they could do. But even though they were limited, considering what the white folks had, they sure did turn out some beautiful stuff. Now for my green, I want that color, that ought to be over here. Avocado. I'll just paint right out of the top here. It doesn't take much. Right off, I don't like that color. Where's a good color? Well, I'm having a color, it's misplaced it or something. I know I'm not going to like this color, but no self-respecting Native American would paint this area with the color I'm painting it. What I'm going to do is grab my midnight blue . There, that looks, yeah, that's still pretty electric. that. I try to keep these paints sort of arranged by color. I'll have blues and greens over here, gold back here in the corner. I have my reds here with a little stripe of yellow right here, orange. But every once in a while one of them gets out of whack, like this one over here. It should be back over here again. And I have my reds there. Over here I have my grays and my browns. Actually, I have way to hell too many paints here. I don't need this much, but like everybody else, you know, you go to Hobby Lobby, you got to get this specific color. So you buy more paint. Just like wood carving brushes and stuff like that. Oh, the next knife is going to be the one I've been looking for. So you buy it. Nope, it wasn't. So it goes into your carving kit. Then you're looking for another one. That's just the way it goes. Okay, for the white on the beading strips. And here's a color I like. It's off-white. It's called parchment. Okay? And I'm just about out of it. And we were up in Joplin just the other day, and I should have went to Hobby Lobby and bought me some, if they still have it. That's the question. Do they have it? Is it going to be under an assumed name? Now to do these areas, too much water in my brush there. It's going to take a couple of coats. If I painted it straight white, it would just be too bright, and it wouldn't look that good. Before I go any further, I'll change my glasses, put on my cheap magnifying glasses I bought down at the Cheapo Depot. They work a lot better for close-ups. Judy and I had our cataracts removed, and before we had those operations, which are fantastic operations, because my grandmother went blind because of cataracts, and today, with today's medicine, a 30-minute operation would have allowed her to have vision the rest of her life, but it wasn't available back then. A shame. But before we had ours, when I went to read a book or something, I could take my glasses off and read my book. I had close-up vision. I just didn't have distance vision. But now, since we had the cataracts, I no longer have close-up vision, but I have distant vision. Amazing how that works. Okay, so there we go. Got that done. Oh, and one more thing. I was on my computer this morning looking for some stuff, and I came across an old video series of Jack Palance that I did quite a few years ago that you might want to check out. I think it was a bottle stopper. He was always one of my favorite characters. And this was him in his role as mean Mr. Wilson from the movie Shane, with Alan Ladd. And great movie. Filmed outside of Jackson, Wyoming in the Grand Tetons. Can't beat a backdrop like that, huh? That's looking pretty good, I think. Okay, also while I'm here, I'm going to paint choker. That video series on Jack Palance, it's 11 segments long, 11 individual videos, and when I uploaded it, YouTube kind of got them a little out of order, so you might have to search around to find the one you're looking for, but they're all there. I think Judy works harder at these videos than I do. Cold outside today. Supposedly Oklahoma's in for a winter blast here come this weekend. Alright, while that paint is still wet, I'm going to find my raw sienna here. Might be able to just paint right out of the lid. Get the paint on my brush. And then I'm going to blend these two areas together. Alright.
Show what you did.
Excuse me?
Could you show the thing finished like that?
I'm going to here in just a minute. Well, first of all, I'll take the hair dryer. I've got this red out here. I'm just going to darken that up a bit. And just double coat this once more. Like I say, it's a process. Gotta take another coat before we're finished up here. But it's starting to look good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to paint our beaded strip here. That's why I didn't attach the teeth, because it would have been impossible to paint these areas up here if those teeth were already attached. There, the holidays are showing up again, see them? Not only did I get paint on my carving there, I also got it on my shirt. You don't need to film that, Judy. Urgh. It'll never go away. So I have to do that over here. So you see where we're going. We'll keep this short. But well, first off, here, let me get my dark burn umber here.
What?
And go back and get these holidays. And again, I'll think I'll have them all, but you watch. By the time it gets ready to varnish this thing, I'll have some more I have to worry about. Correct. Look at there, I got some paint in here now. How do I do that? I gotta correct that. So that's going to end this video. I got to go back and fix that up and paint this strip over here. And then I'll double coat, maybe triple coat these beaded strips to make sure they're nice and crisp and bright, but not too bright. And in the next video, we'll continue on. It just takes a while to do these things. So I hope you stick with me and you don't find it too boring. So until then, check out Jack Palance on YouTube. Maybe you'd like to try your hand at him. And until then, I'll talk to you later.